This is math scripted secondary lesson, 7th grade. Buying on a budget, real life math lessons. Solve multi-step, real life mathematical problems posed with negative rational numbers in any form, whole numbers, fractions, decimals, using tools strategically apply properties of operations to calculate n numbers in any form, convert between forms as appropriate. Assess the reasonableness of answers using mental computation and estimation of strategies. In this lesson, the students will shop in catalogs on their iPads. They will learn to buy the correct amount of items with the money they are allowed and are not allowed to leave more than $1 left after all their purchases. Tax will be 10 cents or 10% for teaching purposes. Adding, subtracting, multiplication, and reasoning will be tested in all real life situations. Okay. They'll need catalogs on the iPad. I gave them Lowe's.com, Walmart.com, Target.com, and Nike.com. They got iPad, smartboard, pencil, paper, and calculator. Teacher will give the list of websites for the catalogs that the students are allowed to look at for the lesson. Then the teacher will explain. Everyone, please look at the smartboard now for me. I have listed a few websites: Lowe's, Walmart, Target, and Nike. What we are doing today is teaching you the skills in math and in reasoning to buy and budget responsibly. You will have a $1,000 budget to go to these websites and purchase things you will need in everyday life. Make sure do not buy anything for real. This is only for you to write down the price and item. Let's be mature about this just to make sure. Now, you will need to purchase at least one item from each website. Here's your requirements you must meet. You must spend at least $999, but you cannot go over $1,000. You must purchase at least 10 food items. You must purchase at least 10 clothing items. You must buy at least 2 items over $100. You must add in sales tax to the total amount you spend, which is 10%. Now, is there any questions on this? Please show your work on your paper by listing the items on the left side and the price item on the right. Draw a line down the middle of your paper like I have done so on the smartboard in front of you. You will need to number them so we can see how many items you bought. Also, please put them in groups on the left side of the paper as listed: clothes, food, and accessories. Also, you may not use calculators till you return to working as an individual, which I will explain in a few minutes. Let me show you an example of sales tax and what I mean when I say I want you to do this like a real life budget. Let's say I bought a shirt for $10, pants for $10, socks for $5, shoes for $50, underwear for $5, and 5 other items of clothing for $100. 10 food items for $100, a bicycle for $150, and a TV for $125. That would cover my 10 items of clothing, 10 food items, and my 2 items for over $100. That's $555 so far. But with tax, that's actually $610.50 spent. I got that number by multiplying 0.10 times 555, which gave me $55.50. Then I added that $550, which gave me $610.50. So please be mindful of that. You will need clothes for your body, food for your body, and items for your lifestyle. Budget within $1 of a $1,000 budget. Are there any questions before we begin? Now, before we begin, I want everyone to pick a partner to work with for the first half of the assignment, so you can collaborate with them on strategy and look together at items that you may see or want. Please be quiet and whisper. You may pick your partner now. As you and your partner work, please help each other in checking that your partner has his clothes, food requirements, along with the 2 items over $100. Once you and your partner have these things, you can go back to working as an individual to finish the assignment. Also, reminder, you cannot use a calculator until you return working as an individual at your own seat with all 10 clothing items, all 10 food items, and 2 items over $100. Okay? Teacher will wait till all have got back to their individual seats after they have found all the items required. Now, everyone, please pause for a second and look at me. I need everyone to really focus now and start getting your numbers together from the list you have right now. Good. Now, John, can you tell me how much you spent so far? $804. Okay. Okay, so John has to now start crunching numbers when he is Okay, so John has to now start crunching numbers when he is purchasing items. Tax and everything included must be within $1 of your budget. Okay. Everyone start back working and make sure you're listing your items and their price so that you are excluding tax for your total number of money spent. Okay. Including tax, I'm sorry, not excluding. Teacher will pause for a few minutes until the time has come to look over the results of their budget. Now that everyone is close to being done, or is done, look up at me one more time. I want everyone to do two things for me. If you are done, please bring me what you have, including all scratch work, and turn it into me. But I do warn you, please double check your work and have the total amount before and after taxes so I can see what your total for both were. Second, if you are not done, please finish up as I review the material background of what we should have retained from this lesson. From this lesson, we should have seen the importance of simple concepts of math in our life that we will use every day. Also, we should have saw how tax, whether it is 10%, 7%, 8%, 9%, is something that needs to be factored in when spending your money. It is. We also see that budgeting really well takes a lot of reasoning, planning, math skills, and understanding of how life is when we have money to spend, but only a certain amount. Remember the amount of time and effort this took, and think about that when we are learning new concepts in math, because a lot ties into these everyday life math skills that we may look over. We will have a discussion tomorrow on budgeting one more time, and then proceed to have our test. There will be certain items listed with different amounts of tax on each. You will need the total number with tax, and then put that number into a budget that I will give you for the test. It's very similar to today's assignment. I will explain it tomorrow more in depth. I will grade your budgets also and return them to you tomorrow before the test so we can see if you had any issues or questions. I hope you enjoyed learning today on budgeting, because most of you will start very soon and will hopefully be efficient at it already.